So welcome. This is Calm with Kate. What started as a way for me to connect to my students and from the yoga studio once we closed due to the pandemic has turned into this really beautiful way of interacting with people from all different parts of my life and their friends, and finding a supportive community of grounding, of peace, of calm, and accountability. So thank you and welcome to this wonderful group. Tonight's practice is restorative. And what that really means is that we spend a little bit of time in our postures, allowing both time and breath to move out the body. And so it's really an internal work. We call this particular practice a work in instead of a work out. And so I invite you to go right along with me. I'll guide you through the postures as we move. We are going to start in a seated Virasana shape, and so I'll let you know exactly how to do that in a moment. Okay, move away from camera. What a ham. All right, so if you're using the Spotify playlist, please go ahead and press play together in 3, in 2, and in 1. Great. So we're going to start in what I called, again, that seated Virasana. So that means knees are together. And we're going to actually use the roll right away or the pillow right away. So that means when your knees are together in front of you and your feet are out wide behind so that you can see your feet on either side, you're then going to sit on top of the pillow, on top of the roll, all the way back. So it's nice if you can take your towel and fold it and just create this sort of exact roll like so. I'm going to take this roll here and tuck it underneath Ryan in between his kind of booty and his heels so that he can soften down into that place. Good. And so once you find a comfortable space here, seated down on top of your pillow, you want to just move until it feels really settled. If for you, knees are really tight, hips are really tight, for whatever reason it isn't working, come into this easy Sukhasana position that I'm in. So we'd like to find some stillness. And yogi, from here, you can take your hands, bring them together in the heart center, and offer your eyes to close. Good. Right away, take a slow breath in through the nose, and a deep breath out. Good. 2 more times like that. Through the nose, breathe in slowly. Through the mouth, breathe out completely. Good. Nice. So we'll do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Good. I'm going to offer you an intention in this moment. Returning to this natural state of breath right here. This evening, we're going to work a little bit deeply on the 5 senses. And so I invite you right in this moment, wherever you are, to start to settle in on those. Letting the intention be the idea that everything that we ingest through our 5 senses is taken into the body, taken into the spirit and the physicality. And so in this moment, we'll focus with eyes still closed here just on sound first. Listening here on what is the tapestry of sound that's creating your environment. Breathing in slowly. Exhaling out smoothly. Maybe hearing sounds within your place. Maybe a neighbor, maybe some street noise. Welcoming in sound. Good, and then just gradually switch into smell. Taking 2 or 3 breaths, allowing a single point of focus to be the smell. What's coming in? Maybe a dinner that's yet to come. Again, a scent from inside your place, a candle, a perfume. Breathing in and taking that in. Good, we move now into this touch. So in this moment of sense, really check in on your sense of touch. When you're not worried about moving the body, can you focus on what is touching the ground? How does the feeling of your clothing feel on your body, moving as you breathe in and out? Good. Transferring that thought into taste. Without moving the mouth, just noticing what the taste is within your own mouth. Is there a lot of saliva going on? Is your mouth watering? Are you dry? It can feel good to swallow here. And finally, the sense of sight. With eyes closed, find that single point of focus. That's almost as if you're looking between your eyebrows. This is what we call our drishti focus. Take a deep breath in right here. And an open mouth exhale. Good. Softly blink your eyes open, continuing to notice with all of your senses. Let's move the body. Open the arms out wide. Good. Taking them wide out to the sides. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together along the back of your body. Open up 10 fingers wide. Good. We start with just a simple shoulder rotation here. Thumbs go down toward the earth and then up. Down and up. Just a few here, slow motion, gradually warming and opening up the body before we take a few shapes. Good. So maybe you're experiencing this turning sensation all the way into the shoulder girdle. Perhaps you feel it all the way in the palms and forearms. Whatever you're experiencing, be with that and continue to also experience that all 5 senses are part of this. Good. Thumbs to sky, breathe in. Now take your right arm underneath your left. We're going to take what we call eagle arms. Now traditionally here, the hands are grasped together, but for some reason in all kinds of bodies that can feel strange. So I'll offer you a couple options. You can take your right pinky finger and hook it into your left thumb. So the hands are one in front of the other. Good. If this still doesn't feel right to you, you can take forearms together and smash the palms. But the point of the posture is to squeeze bone on bone together. So open up the back of the heart. So start to notice right here, what do you feel opening between the shoulder blades? Soften the shoulders away from the ears, squeezing the elbows in toward the midline. In this eagle posture, we find that compression of bone to bone and muscle to muscle so that we can have fresh oxygenated blood to those joints when we open back up. So keeping the arms, we'll take a few cow cats. So that means inhale, lift the elbows up, lift the belly, the throat, and the gaze. And then as you exhale, bring elbows into the navel center, allowing the rounding shape to happen, chin comes into chest. Really nice. With breath, inhale, lift, lift. Exhale, soft, lower. Really nice. So if your breath pattern doesn't match mine, you can take what works for you. Inhale up, and exhale down. Just one more of those, doing really well. Stay really curious about what's happening in the mind and in the body as you stay in a squeezed position. Is there anxiety coming in, or can you be cool with what's happening? Good. Level out the shoulders at center, and then open them really widely. Good. Again, thumbs go down. Good. So we'll take just a turn up and down, up and down. Release that out. And now we'll take the other side. Left arm underneath the right. Find the eagle position that suits you. Note that the sides might feel different, and that's really normal. Then squeeze. Squeeze everything in toward the midline. Muscles to bones, muscles right squeezed once on another, and the bone to bone. Good, then squeezing those down and shoulders away from the ears, you start the cow cats here. Inhale, belly, throat, and gaze. Exhale, round and curl. Chin to chest, last. Good, couple more here. Breathing in. Long, smooth exhale as you let that go. 2 more. Feel really welcome to close your eyes if an internal experience would feel better here or anytime through class. Good. Come level one more time, then open the arms all the way out. Good, and set them to the sides. Good, take a towel here now. One of those towels that could be short or long. We're gonna take the right arm with the towel and lift it to the sky. Yeah, so just stretching the towel high to the sky right here. It's gonna come behind the back. Now take the right fingers and tap the left shoulder blade. Okay, right away here, we're feeling the triceps stretch, right? All the way here, underneath the armpit, some lengthening through the intercostal muscles all the way down on the right-hand side. So stay here for just a moment and experience that. You can let your skull in the back softly press into the back of the wrist here, and that can feel nice. Good. So now the left arm goes out to the side. Remember how we were doing thumb up and down? The thumb goes down, and then the hand goes behind you, like you're gonna do a magic trick here. And as you do, you hold on to the towel with that hand. Good, so this is the binds that we're working toward. Start to see if fingers can creep closer toward one another, or just holding onto the towel behind you. Right elbow to the sky, left elbow is pinning behind me. So the closer the left elbow is to the waist, the more likely you might find fingers close together. But if they're not there, don't worry. Inhale to find some length, so pull on the towel. Ooh, that feels good. Exhale to lean to the left, any amount. So as you lean to the left, start to experience the softening of left shoulder away from left ear. The lifting of the right elbow high to the sky. Good, we'll stay here for just a breath or two. Knowing once again, during our restorative practices, we're waiting, we're pausing, and we're letting the breath move through the body and allowing that time to open things up a little more. Notice also if your mind starts to tell you a story about, I have to get out of here. And remember, you're not in threat. And this will feel really nice to release in just another breath. Inhale. And exhale. Really good. Now listen, let go of the left hand and set it down. Release the towel from the right hand, but keep the right hand where it is. Take the right hand and wrap it around to the left ear. Sounds kind of funny, but you're just holding the left ear. Breathe in here. And this time as you exhale, send the right ear toward the right shoulder. Really good. So my left fingers are tented down onto the ground so that I can experience a little bit of opening and stretching through the arm, the finger pads, the forearm, the biceps, but also all the way into the serratus anterior, the muscles along the back of the neck here. Good. And notice that the hand is really not doing the work to press here at all, but just to allow gravity to help. One more breath in. And breath out. Good. Open up and breathe in. Let that go. Breathe in here. Exhale, chin to chest, and just pause a moment. Good. So elongate through the back of the neck. Notice here how soft you could be, how open you could be through the back of the skull. Good. And then level the chin. Let's take the other side. So find that towel. You're just going to lift the towel up with the left hand toward the sky. Good. And as you do now, remember where we're headed. So you just start by taking the left fingertips and touching the right shoulder blade. And already I start to feel a stretch, a warmth, a growth here, a lengthening from left hip all the way up through intercostal muscles, ribs, and lungs, up the side of the bicep and up to the shoulder and then the forearm. Good. So as that left elbow is high to sky, the right arm can reach out to your side. And just as we did before, we turn the thumb down to the earth and then creep behind you for your magic trick. Awesome. So now that you're there, can you find the towel? Hold the towel with the right hand and with the left. Start to see if it's possible to do a couple things. Snuggle the left elbow close to the ear. Snuggle the right hip closer to the right side of the body, the right hip. Good. And now from here, crawl the fingers closer together, see if you might be able to touch, and if not, don't worry about it. Just hold on to this towel, create some tension and length. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember that staying, there's power in remaining. We certainly know in this time of pandemic what it feels like to have to stay and how to train the body and the mind to be okay with that. And sometimes in restorative yoga in particular, we learn that lesson through the poses. This is the mirror, the world outside. And so teaching yourself how to stay. One more breath in. And on the exhale, we're gonna start that tilt toward the right. So it doesn't have to be much, maybe just an inch or two, maybe a micro lean over, and you'll feel it. I'm also aware in this pose that I'm starting to experience that little bit underneath my toes in the calves. And don't worry, we'll be moving out of this posture soon, but ideally the towel underneath you is massaging into the calves. So consider this a massage here. One more breath in, and a little to the right, breath out. Good, yogi. Come on back up to the top. Take that right hand and release it, tent the fingers to the ground. Keep left arm where it is, but drop towel. Good. Now take the arm around and touch onto the right ear. And as you have this, breathe in. As you exhale, softly tip the ear toward the shoulder. Again, as I said before, I'm starting to experience some little bit of tingling and lengthening through the right forearm, all the way into the finger pads on the right side, and that's nice. Stretching through the back of the neck and the side as well. Wrapping all the way over, and again, just letting gravity drop the left ear toward the left shoulder, but just softly pressing with the top here. Breath in, breath out. Good. Return, lift that up. Take the arms right in front of you like you're serving a tray here, and then pull them back in. Elbows squeeze into the sides here. Hands are up, and thumbs are gonna go toward the outside. So breathing in, as you exhale, send the hands out to the sides. Good. So this is a really great one if you've been sitting at the computer all day or you've been hunching over, you'll start to feel the opening. Let's do it a couple more times. Breathe in and breathe out. It's like the thumbs are going to try to go behind your back. We know it's not possible, but that's the action that's happening. 2 more times. To the sides. Inhale, center. Exhale. Good. Last one now. Take those arms forward and then all the way behind you and interlace them in a chest expansion. Good, so that means that the hands and the knuckles, the fingers are all interlaced. Pull those knuckles towards your toes and heels. Open up through your heart, breathe in. As you exhale, you're gonna start to finally round forward here. This is called rabbit's pose, Sasana. And what we do is curl the chin toward the chest and drop the top of the head down. We'll start with the chest extension, staying exactly where it is. So the top of the head comes to the mat. Good, so you're rolled forward here. I'm just coming up so that I can talk to you a little bit better, but the top of your head is toward the mat here, and you're energetically bringing the forehead toward the knees. If the head is far away from the ground, take one of those pillows that we talked about and set your head on top of the pillow instead. Just another breath here in a chest expansion, growing a little bit up and over and stretching the shoulders we just warmed up. So breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Your next move is then to release those hands completely. Drop the knuckles to the earth and see if you can hold on to your heels behind you. So keep the top body the same. Holding onto the heels. Now start to lift your shoulder blades up. Curl like that cat pose in your back. You're staying rounded. You're staying tucked in. Again, top of the forehead is making some connection to either pillow or to ground. Really good. You've got one more breath here. Nice. All right, and now you'll roll up slowly. Okay, move that out of the way. Just to get our little bit of release from those legs here, press your hands underneath you. Come into table pose. So for me, it can feel really nice here after we've been in that purposeful contraction or compression here in the back line of the body, just to stretch the legs in it. So take the left leg behind you, push the palm on into the earth, and tap the knee to the mat, and then straighten it. Good. Nice. And you'll do the other side, same thing. Just a little blood flow back into the legs here. Good, yogis. Now we're going to move into a child's pose, and I'm going to ask you to use those rolls again. So taking the towel roll that you've created, we're going to keep it in towel roll number 1. So for child's pose, knees go out wide to the edges of the mat, right? And the big toes connect. So first towel is going to go behind, in between the backs of the knees here. Again, to get that little calf massage going. All right, mine looks a little short, so I'm gonna roll the towel the other way, long-wise, right? So that's towel one. The second towel you're gonna use is gonna take rolled up. You can do this with a pillow too if that's what you have available. And set it right on top of the hip creases here, right in the top. You could do the same thing with your pillow if that feels better. And now we're gonna start to lean forward. Crawl the palms forward, tense 10 fingers down into the earth. Good, so we're really leaning softly into these two towels or rolls or pillows, allowing that feeling of massage happening into the calves and the back of the body, bowing the head through the forearms, dropping it down. If that feels like a long way away, again, take a pillow, a block, a prop, any height, so that your head can find something to rest on here that doesn't stress you out. Good. So on your inhales, you're feeling more length from the fingertips down through the hip creases. And on your exhales, you're feeling, if possible, a drawing down closer. Heels toward the glutes, glutes toward the heels. Good. On the next breath or so, you may decide it's possible for you to drop the forearms down to the mat. And that might feel really nice to do so. Bring the elbows a little closer to the knees, and then bow the head once again to that little structure underneath you. Taking a few full deep breaths in. Maybe asking yourself, which of your senses are you noticing most in this moment? Really good. Slowly press into the palms. Come on out of that. Remove the towels and the rolls and set them at the top of your mat. Good. In your table pose, nice and slow. On your timing, we'll inhale and take cow pose. Exhale and take cat. So the one thing I often see with this is the head moving a lot, and the head's gonna move for sure, but it's last. So think about the low back, the mid back, the upper back, and then the gaze. And the same thing in the opposition, you start with the low back. Pull, 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 chin to chest. Good, try that 2 more times. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Nice. From this place in your table pose, we're going to take the Gomukhasana on the legs now. So you're going to take from a table pose, take the left knee and bring it behind the right knee. Good. So you might have to wiggle this into place so the knees are toward the middle of the mat. The feet are going to widen out to the sides. Good. Now here's where we need a big pillow behind us or your yoga block. And you're going to start to sit the booty down on top of whatever structure feels right to you here. Good. So once again, the feet are moving away and you're stacked knee on knee. This is an opening for the hips. I'm sure you can already tell. Feel grounded into those low hips or into the block. Settle down heavy. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now we're going to start to lean forward, and you've got a couple options here. You can take the fingers and start to tent them toward the earth and crawl forward. That's pretty traditional. Or you can take this, what we call cow face shape or needle pose in both parts of the body. So the other part is the one we did before. Trying to let those fingers find each other or using your towel. Right arm up, left arm behind, and then starting to lean forward. So whether you're choosing this shape or fingers forward, breathe in and exhale, lean. Now yogi, listen internally here. You're gonna know right away when you've gone far enough. And today my hips are really tight, so I'm not gonna go any farther than this gentle tilt forward. And I'm just gonna breathe into it. And when I get distracted by the physical body, I'm gonna start to come back to senses. Maybe shutting out the eyes. What do I hear? What do I smell? What do I taste? What does this touch feel like? And what can I see? Either in my environment with eyes open or with eyes closed. And just like that, we're done. Rise up. Release. Good job. Remove yourself from this posture by going through table. So you lift up, press the hands down, exactly, and then come on out. So right knee will come out and release. Once I've done this pose, in particular, I like a little side stretch right to left. That quiet Siri. So here we go. We hit this right hip and left hip. It's super gentle, super nurturing. The hips are getting enough of a stretch in that Gomukhasana that we're not trying to really stretch it here, but just release a little tension that might have come through. Now you know we're gonna move to the other side, of course. So I'm gonna take my left knee behind my right, and then wiggle my knees toward kind of the middle of the mat. Then the feet start to go wide, as far as they can and comfortably. And then I'm ready once again with whatever structure I used to sit my booty back on top of it. Okay. As this is happening, you're going to widen the feet out and move them away from yourself just a little. You can flex those feet and feel strong. Pause and feel rooted right here. I like to take hands on hips for a moment to feel that kinetic response of actually sitting them down, as if I were taking somebody and dropping them into a lower position. You can do that with your own hips here. Feel grounded, notice. And then remember where we're going to be heading. Option for the hands to tense the fingers down and fall forward. Or if you want to experiment with that Gomukhasana in upper and lower body, you'll take the left arm up to the sky, the right hand behind, and pause and stay here. On this side, for me, I can't let the fingers touch. They just don't want to. So I'm just going to grab onto the back of my shirt and hold there. You could also grab towel, of course. Breathe in, catch length. Exhale, bow forward. Once again, right away I feel it. There's a tightness, there's a tension. So I'm going to pause. The wisdom of the body is so great. I'm not going to push. There's no point to find sensation seeking by really pushing through, but pausing. And then, of course, in this practice, we allow time to maybe see if more opening is possible. So stay and be patient. As I breathe in and out here, there's a sense of loosening, of unfastening the hip creases just a touch. And I find it's possible for finger pads to perhaps come a little forward. Again, really just gently. Bowing, lengthening, feeling crown of the head all the way into the hips. Really long length here. And once again, return back to your intention. Taking in everything that's happening in your environment without trying to remove anything. It's all part of this moment in time. One more breath in. And out, really nice. You're gonna crawl yourself into table to get out of this. Gently press the palms under. Good, release the legs. Same as before. A little hip side to side might feel good. A little bit of a gentle cow pat might feel good. I'm going to take my block at the top setting here and put it at the top of my mat. If you have your rolls that we made from earlier, you can use those. Okay, keep them at the top of the mat. As we're going to push ourselves into downward facing dog in a supported fashion. So tuck your toes underneath you and stretch the legs up and back. Ah, that feels really nice to do so, especially after all of that compression. So I start by just gently walking that out, cha-chaing out the legs a little bit. Good. And now I want to get to a place where it's possible for my head to soften down. Obviously, I'm pretty far from the earth. So for me, I'm going to take two of my yoga blocks, one on top of the other, and then drop my head. If you don't have something that tall, Don't worry about it again. You could use pillows, you could use whatever structure, just for a beat here to release. Good, and then you'll walk your feet slowly up to the top of the mat. And we're taking a forward fold with the same idea. So I want my head to be able to land on top of something. And I want my legs to be able to be straight. So in order to get the hamstring stretch here, legs have to be straight. Right, so you don't necessarily have to touch the ground. I would recommend taking perhaps those blocks on the tallest setting and pressing your hands into them there, and then just letting the head drop. Good, right, exactly. You're looking for a little bit more of a straighter leg, just stretching into the hamstrings here. Good. Now carefully, without doing too much extra work, you're just gonna step the left foot back. Good, and send the left knee down. Move these blocks out of the way and take your foot and hop it on top of your roll. So the heel digs into the ground and the toes are on the roll here. Yeah, good. And now I like to still use my blocks here for a kneeling lunge. Rolling a little bit forward, stretching the left hip crease toward the top of the mat. Breathing in and out, allowing this shape to just open yourself up. Good. Then you're gonna move slowly into your half splits by peeling your hips back, straightening the leg off of the roll a little bit, toes to the sky. Good, we'll take that one more time. Stretch forward, kneeling low lunge, and then stretch back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Good. Stretch forward, low lunge, and stay. Nice. I'm going to offer you an option here, something a little different for a hamstring stretch, is to start to see if it's possible in this pose to start to bring left heel toward the glute and then back down. Just see if you can kick your own left cheek. Nice. Good. So if you hop the blocks back a footprint or so, it's possible for you to take the left hand, reach behind and see if you could find that foot, ankle, or calf. If you want to try something a little different, you can come down to the forearms onto the blocks, and the right hand is going to slide underneath your body. And see if you can hold it with your right hand instead. Just an option for you, whatever feels better for this quad stretch. And again, if you feel like you're all the way far away from this, take one of your towels and loop the back of your foot. And then pull. Good. Release. Bring the knees down, table pose, shake that out. Press the hands into the mat, downward facing dog. Good. Again, you can just pedal out through these legs a little bit. Come high onto the tiptoes, down onto the heels. One more time, high onto the tiptoes and down onto the heels. Perfect. Look forward, slowly walk the feet behind the hands, top of mat. Forward fold, hands on the tall blocks, straighten out the legs. Good. So you can do a micro bend and stretch here. I want you to feel this in the back of the legs. So if you bend your knees a lot during a forward fold, that's really nice for the low back. And if that's something you'd like this evening, it's an option. I'm giving you the option for a little bit more stretch in the back of the body here. Good. And then you'll bend those knees a little bit and move to the other side. So stepping the right foot back, kneeling down, hopping the left foot forward, toes onto the roll. Good. So here we begin just a little gentle kneeling lunge forward and soft half splits back. Continue to work slowly between these two poses. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back, really good. Nice. Inhale forward, we'll take the quad stretch. Start gently with yourself. See if you can touch your booty with the right heel to cheek, right heel to cheek. Whew, this might be enough. You stay right here and experiment with just holding it, not reaching for it at all. But if you want to give that a shot, bring the blocks back, get taller in the kneeling lunge, and then take same hand to foot. See what you can find. Yeah. As before, if you want to try something kind of wild, you can take your hands down to the forearms, or forearms to the blocks rather. Take the left behind and through. See if you can find it this way. We're not trying to turn ourselves into a pretzel here in class yogi. We're just trying to find unique and awesome experience within the body. So do what works for you. Good. Very carefully return yourself to table pose. Move the blocks out of the way, but keep the roll. Move yourself down onto your belly with the roll right by your hip creases. So I'm gonna find my way down. Yeah. I want this roll to be right underneath my navel, or right in that same spot. I'm in a Sphinx pose now with elbows down to mat and 10 fingers open. Good. My idea here is to soften the knees, the legs down to the ground. Press into forearms and tops of the fingers all the way down. Soft. Good. And then we'll move ourselves open by pressing the palms down into the mat and lifting the elbows away. So we're looking for a stretch away from the little roll. Come on back down, tap those elbows. We want no back pain, just an opening through that low lumbar spine. So take your time, you're just gonna gently peel off the roll. Press into the palms, lift the elbows, and peel up a little. Good, some of you may discover you can open your heart, look up, good. Bring the elbows down, really nice breaths and movement. You'll try one more and stay there for as long as maybe just a few moments. So start to lengthen. This is what they call swan in restorative. So walk the fingers forward just a little. Yeah, so the hands kind of feel like child's pose, long, long arms. But the heart feels like a heart opening. The heart is moving through this gateway of the biceps, and you're looking up. Really good. Nice. One more full breath in. And full breath out. Drop the elbows down. Release that. Good. Take the left forearm and make it parallel to the top of the mat. And keeping the roll underneath you, bring the right heel to the right glute, just like we did a minute ago. Awesome. Already I feel the stretch in my thigh. But we're going to take it a step further now and see if it's possible to reach behind. This is called half Dhanurasana. I'm reaching for the inside arch, holding onto my big toe. Good. If you feel good here, you can take the left arm kind of back to where it was in swan and stretch. Straighten the arm and kick. I'm going to stay a little bit more restorative here. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now your job is to kick, kick, kick into the hand and feel the difference there. So kick your hand away, soften. Kick your hand away and soften. Good, just one more. Kick away, strength, 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 soften, release. Drop that right foot. Return to Sphinx pose, elbows to mat. This is sort of your neutral. Now the right elbow, forearm, parallel to top of mat. Good. Start to bend left heel to glute. Do this a couple times. Maybe your body's like, I'm not going to even go for the reach. Just keep it here. Maybe the left hand can reach behind and see if you can find the arch. Thumb holding big toe. Good. Stay right here. Or return back to a straight right arm the seal pose. Nice. And from here, spend a moment just pulling the heel toward the glute. And then you'll try to push away. So kick, kick, kick away, and then softly release. Oh yeah, kick away, and soft release. One more, kick away, soft release. Good, release the left leg entirely. Drop it down. Carefully start to roll yourself over and onto your back. We're going to use the rolls for what we're going to call supported fish. So you can use blocks as well if you prefer. If you have yoga blocks and want to use those, I'll show you that. Taking one and then the other in the shape of a T. Okay? You can do the exact same thing with pillows and rolls. 1 and 2. And you're going to slowly start to move yourself back. Press the forearms into the ground. Mid-back, scapula finding its way onto first block. And then starting to soften down. So back of skull lands on second block. Ooh, nice. So this is a beautiful opening, chest opener to close out our class here. So I invite you to either have feet to ground, knees to sky, a nice soft space there, or if comfortable, extend the legs long. Drop your palms to the earth. Palms flat down or knuckles touching the earth. And just widen. Widen across the collarbones and sternum. Lift and offer your heart up. Just 2 breaths here. Good, Yogi. If you enjoy the heart-opening feeling of the supported fish pose, you're welcome to stay here for this version of your Shavasana today. If you'd like to softly roll off and remove the blocks and lay back down onto your spine in traditional Shavasana, invite that as well. Wherever you are laying down, cultivating and finding some stillness, lengthen out those legs. Option as well, of course, to keep feet to the ground, knees to sky in your variation of your laying pose. So return to your intention of those 5 senses. And reflecting on this tonight and this intention, I came back to that old 5 senses poem that you might have done in school, where the poet chooses a topic to write about and then describes the topic with each of the senses on one line. Line 1, tell the color of the subject. Line 2, tell what it sounds like. Line 3, tell what it tastes like. Line 4, tell what it smells like. Line 5, tell what it looks like. Line 6, tell how it makes you feel. I want to share a brief poem that follows that structure about happiness. Happiness is sunshine yellow. It sounds like children laughing in the park. It tastes like an ice cream sundae. It smells like brownies baking in the oven. It looks like me when you smile. It makes me feel warm inside. So I invite you in this moment to think of one thing for your topic or subject. Maybe a person that came to mind. Maybe something you're dealing with in life. And I'll guide you through it here. Tell the color of the subject. What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? And how does it make you feel? You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Begin to bring breath back into your body. Breathe in fully. Exhale completely. Return to movement and fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Invite in a morning stretch. Arms go overhead, heels or toes stretch away from you. Grow to the length of your frame, breathe in. Exhale, roll to one side, fetal pose, right or left. Tuck knees in, laid down on top of your bicep. And just as our Shavasana corpse pose marks the death of that practice, fetal pose marks the beginning of something new. I invite you to consider experiencing more fully all of your senses. As you come on up to an easy seat, Sukhasana, bring the palms together into Anjali Mudra and float the eyes closed. Together, empty out all of that stale air one more time. Full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Guide your thumbs up to that place between your eyebrows, seat of intuition and inner wisdom. Noting all of the senses, bowing forward this yoga practice. Namaste. Yogis, thank you so much. As always, if you have the means to donate, go to kateyogarayan.com. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. We do give a portion of the proceeds to COVID-19 relief. And we're so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a really wonderful, restful evening, a good Monday night. Thanks for being patient as we figure out our puppy. And I hope you continue to feel all the benefits of this practice for hours yet to come. All right, thanks, yogis. Hope you're feeling good. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Bryn. Thanks for being here.